Hey everyone, I accidentally hit the thing and now I gotta redo it. All right, so you have a Queen of Pentacles here who is a friend and she's not a snake. Or she flipped the snake on his head. The challenge here is that you've got strength, you've got the Hermit here, and you've got the Six of Pentacles. So there is a strong and passionate research happening into the generosity of this ancestry. And there is a denial here. Here in the subconscious, you've got the Lovers and the Upright. You've got forgiveness in the reverse, but you also have empathy. So forgiveness, another word for forgiveness is release. So this to me says that something hasn't been released yet, and that with the empathy card, both sides of a situation are being looked at. You've got the Moon card here in the recent past, and change in the reverse, and humor, choosing to look on the lighter side of life. So you've got somebody's in an illusion, and it hasn't changed. And there's humor here. So I don't know if maybe they just want to look on the lighter side of life. They don't want to face the illusion. Maybe they're afraid to look at what the illusion is, so they're not going to change. They're just going to look on the lighter side of life. They don't want to look in their shadow. They don't want to do the shadow work. So you've got the Hierophant here in the intentions and expectations. And what we have is the Hierophant, which could be the Most High, because the Most High, I believe, is the only one who can cancel contracts, right? But you've got an Evermore, which is a soul contract which didn't survive. And there's no happiness here. So it could be that the Most High canceled this particular soul contract because this person doesn't want to do the shadow work. And, so that soul contract didn't survive. And they're not happy about it. They're in grief. This personality is in grief because they're in a star reversed energy. They got disconnected. Yeah, here's the grief card. Sorry. So they're in a star reversed energy. They're in grief and they're in despair because they've been disconnected from this Evermore. That contract is no more. And this person is at peace. The other party is at peace. And the lens that's being looked through is that we've got an Eight of Wands here. So there's frustration and panic, maybe even a lack of energy. And then you've got this vanity here and sovereign in the reverse. So this vain person is not sovereign. You've got a King of Cups here in the environment, who is an emotionally balanced and supportive, tolerant person. And then you've got home. So, and that's a female on the card. So this could be a wife at home, maybe. And then you've got death. So I don't know, maybe somebody's sick. There's angel wings on this person. So it could be that maybe he's lost his wife. And hopes and fears. There is, so the hope was that there would be a celebration, and that there would be marriage and all of that. But they couldn't make a change to this grave. The grave card came out and they couldn't change it. So you've got a celebration here, a Three of Cups. So a community celebration. They're disciplined. I can accomplish whatever they set their minds to. But then you've got this witch here who's invisible. On the bottoms of those decks, We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the the King and Queen of Swords. So it's like it's a new cycle, and truth is out here all the way. Unbiased judgment, head over heart, mental clarity, sage advice. So it's like this. It's almost like this King and Queen of Swords are like moving into this next karmic cycle of destiny, and they're like all business, very clear-minded, authority, very perceptive, clear boundaries, truthful and honest, reliable leaders. You've got purpose here and teacher. So the purpose is that somebody's going to be a teacher. They're getting the message that this is a prophecy. They're getting a message. They're going to be a teacher of parentless children, maybe. And this is prophecy for the wholesome person, people. We get to be mom and dad to a bunch of beauties, who need love. And there will be growth. There will be an expansion of consciousness and awareness. And there's doubt here. There's doubt, but there is a trust also. So there's a release to need. There's a release of the need to know all the answers, and an acceptance that the inner voice is guiding correctly. So there's trust. Alrighty then, so now we'll continue clarifying. Oh, those just hopped right out of there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, we got a snake in the reverse, and we've also got a main female in the reverse and courthouse in the reverse. So it could be that somebody who isn't the main female, who it may not have went well in the courthouse for her, or a whole community. You've got this Queen of Pentacles here, who's a friend, and it's like they're like right here, and it's like stuff has been going down, stuff has been happening. You've got a passionate and courageous, soul searching, truth seeking stuff going on about the generosity, about sharing the wealth, about fairness of this particular ancestry. And there's a denial here too. I don't know if this ancestry is, ancestry, I don't know. That could just be like grandma. Or it could be great grandma, or it could be like a whole hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of whatever that maybe you're not even aware of. I don't know. Somebody knows. Somebody knows about your great fortune. They can't get you out of their mind. They didn't want to change. They didn't want to do the shadow work. They just looked at the lighter side of life. They didn't get down into the dirt and the nitty gritty and do any inner work. They didn't do any shadow work. But she did. His Evermore did. But the Hierophant's here saying, no, this contract is over. And this guy, all he can think about is the great fortune of his Evermore. And there's a big time, they're in denial. Oh, it could be that he used the Evermore for her great fortune and they're in denial. They didn't share anything with her. They took it all. They didn't give her any happiness. They didn't do anything. They might have thought it was funny that they took all her stuff and wow. So there's a seeing both sides of a situation. We've got forgiveness in the reverse and we've got house in the reverse. So these lovers are looking at both sides of this situation and they're like, I don't know. They're in a courtship. Whoever, so I don't know who this person is, this snake who is not the main female who lost in court with this community. It looks like they were like this Queen of Pentacles took them to court or something about this. Came up with all this evidence how they denied this woman anything. They used her great fortune and they left her homeless. Child. They might have thought that she was like a child, so they just tossed her away or whatever. They thought it was funny. Poverty in the reverse. So this Evermore was not supposed to be in poverty. It was not a poverty situation, but it's not surviving. It's not surviving. Or maybe this person doesn't want to be in poverty. They wanted this Evermore, but the Hierophant's like, no, it's not surviving. It's not happy. This person's in grief. They're in a star reversed energy. They're a personality. They were just playing. They were just acting, and they're under adjudication. They're a thief. They stole the great fortune and then they left her on her own to survive. Homeless. And she could have been like a child, very innocent. And they may have left her in a bad way, man. But she found peace. She's at peace. And they're frustrated and panicked because they're vain. They're not seen as a sovereign being by the Hierophant. And they're concerned. A King of Cups might have experienced a death at home. A wealthy man. Hope and fear was that there would be a celebration, some sort of a reunion. But they couldn't change this. They couldn't change this grave outcome. They're in adjudication. There's a celebration here. They can accomplish whatever they set their mind to, but there's also an invisible witch. A mature woman. Wanting the gift. They're in despair. They're in despair because the work that they were doing is ending. It's over. Alrighty then. You've got a Queen of Pentacles here who's not a snake. She's a friend. But you've got somebody who's not the main female who didn't do well in the courthouse with this community. They're holding back. Holding something back. There's a lot of research going on into this ancestry and how they treated the other half of this evermore. They took the great fortune and they denied this woman a house or even what she needed to survive or to be happy. And they were not in poverty. This was not a poor union. They took everything and they left her without anything. They detached from her. They took her great fortune and they detached from her. There's proof of all of this. We've got forgiveness in the reverse, house in the reverse, lovers, empathy, seeing both sides of a situation, reciprocity. It could be that this Queen of Pentacles, she could be a mother figure who is fighting for you because she wants you with her she might want you with her child. She wants you with her, she wants you in a relationship with, she wants you in a union with her child. She has seen both sides. She's seen both sides of this situation. She's looked at this situation very thoroughly. She knows everything that's been happening here. You may not even be aware of it. That's that backstory that keeps cropping up, that hidden information. They thought it was funny. Yeah, they weren't inseparable. They left you high and dry on your own as a child, and they thought it was funny. Like you were this innocent being who was reliant on this person to be your foundation, this snake. And instead they took your house, they took your great fortune, and they kicked you out. This Queen of Pentacles has a union for you, which is going to be reciprocal. She's taking a very close look at this situation. And it could be that the mental body of this individual is being messed with. See, because he's here. He's playing with their minds still. Trying to get her to detach from this. He still wants that great fortune, but it's not happening. The Hierophant's like, no. You're not getting the wealth of this. Habits. They have habits. There's habits here. And I don't know if it'll ever change. So, yeah. They didn't want to do the shadow work. They didn't want to change. They have habits. They left you high and dry. They didn't want to do the work. They took your house, they took your happiness, and they left you with not even what you needed to survive. You were contracted with this person and they left you in poverty while they rolled around in your spiritual inheritance. They made mistakes. They wish they could right their wrongs. They're in grief. They're a thief. They're discouraged. They're in despair. They've been disconnected. They're an actor. And she has gained her peace. Reveal. In the reverse. They're not telling everything. They're not letting it. They're not telling everything. They didn't tell the truth. They're concerned. They have a lack of energy. They've been disconnected from this star. They're seen as vain. They're not sovereign. They're indecisive. They don't know what to do now. This King of Cups might have had a death at home. He could be a wealthy man. Reflection. Reflection of you. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. There was the hope for freedom, for a reunion, for a celebration, but they couldn't change. They couldn't bring a change to this grave situation. This adjudication. Runner, they want to run. There's a celebration here, accomplishing what you set your mind to. There's a mature woman here who's a witch, who's invisible. There's sabotage here. She's guilty of sabotage. She's guilty of sabotage. There's gossip about and disagreements regarding this soul tie that this Hierophant's canceling up here. Real estate. So real estate is being held back. This is in the courthouse. It didn't go well in the courthouse for somebody who isn't for a snake, who isn't the main female, or this community. This real estate is being held back. They're being detached. They're trying to mess with this woman's mind. They still want this great fortune. They're being denied. Yeah, this ancestry took this great fortune from this star, and then they left her homeless and have no happiness, alone, without even the things to survive. Just left her out there like a child with nothing to survive, nothing, nobody, no support, nothing. Natural disasters. Yeah. She had to survive a lot of stuff. Huh. She's going to come into a union of reciprocity, of love and harmony, where both sides of a situation are going to be looked at. These people, there's forgiveness is in the reverse. House is in the reverse. They might have lost their house. There's fear and anxiety here. They didn't want to change. They didn't want to do the shadow work. They had a bunch of habits, so they didn't want to do the shadow work. They separated from this feminine, and she who was very childlike, who was very focused on the lighter side of life, and they left this innocent person on her own without the necessary survival skills or tools. They're stressed out. They're not sleeping. They could be suffering from headaches or pressure of sorts. This Hierophant said, no, you made mistakes. You took the wealth of this evermore and you left her with nothing to survive on, and you took all of her happiness. She was a child. Innocent. Joyous. She's a sweetheart. They were supposed to have a family together. She's got peace now. She's a being of love. She releases all negative energy. This personality is being disconnected from this star. He's in despair. He's in grief. He's a thief. He didn't tell the truth. She's no longer in danger. She's at peace. So this vain person who's not sovereign is indecisive. They don't know what to do. They're frustrated. Everything's slowed down. They don't have any energy, and they're very concerned. Oh my gosh. Death. Wow. My condolences, everybody. I'm sorry. King of Cups may have had a death at home. He could be a wealthy man. He's reflecting. Being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. Marriage. Maybe his marriage is over. They weren't able to stop this ending. They're under adjudication. Memories. There's celebration. There is, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. There is an invisible witch who is a mature woman who is guilty of sabotage. She's protesting this gift. There's evidence. There's evidence of what this family did to her vitality. There's this commitment of this commitment. There's evidence of what they did to this vitality, what this family did to the vitality. They bound her to some commitment. They bound her to some contract. But she received a mercy, a kindness. She received a mercy, a kindness. They bound her to some dark contract and left her out there without the things she needed to survive, without any happiness, without any support, without any home. And they thought it was funny. She was childlike. She was innocent. That's the end of this. This is the conclusion. She gains. They're in conflict now, and they might be blind. They might even be dominated for what they did. Like maybe they lost their vision, their third eye or whatever. It could be that they damaged her third eye when they took away all her tools to survive. Well, I'm going to leave this one here, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.